Maraming salamat po to my colleagues in the Supreme Court. By their own writings, opinions, and decisions, as well as discussions during our sessions, they have helped me test and mold my own thoughts and writings. Indeed, I cherish my work in the court because I find our intellectual exchanges, both verbal and written, stimulating, challenging, and sometimes humbling. To use two favorite cliches, my colleagues and I sometimes disagree, but we are never disagreeable. And we may occasionally differ, but we are never difficult. The Supreme Court, as I always say, thrives in a kettle of free ideas in which truth, fairness, and justice are distilled only after all sides, even the most outlandish ones, have been poured in and percolated. As the primus inter pares of the Panganiban Court, I am especially appreciative of the individual and collective efforts of my colleagues to help me attain my vow to lead a judiciary characterized by 4 Ins. One that is morally courageous to resist influence, interference, indifference, and insolence, and is impervious to what I call the plague of ships: kinship, relationship, friendship, and fellowship. I am thankful for their wholehearted cooperation and hands-on assistance in continuing the action program for judicial reform, especially on focusing on what I refer to as the acid problems that corrode justice in our country. By word and example, my colleagues have paved the straight and narrow path for the 19 magistrates in the 3 appellate courts and the 2,000 trial courts nationwide. To my mind, the battle for the 4 Ins and against the 4 acid problems should lead to the attainment by the judiciary of 2 loftier goals: the safeguarding of liberty and the nurturing of the prosperity of our people under the rule of law. That we have been successful in spreading the gospel of liberty and prosperity is exemplified not only by the decisions and actions of the court, but also by the testimonials we have received during the recent Global Forum on Liberty and Prosperity, during which we exported these twin beacons of justice to the world. Equally heartwarming were the favorable responses from the magistrates present, especially from the Chief Justices of Canada, France, Russia, Nepal, and Slovakia, to name but a few, around the world. Maraming salamat po to my former colleagues in the Davide Court, especially to Chief Justice Hilario G. Davide Jr., who initiated our APJR. Before he retired, he reminded me that I should never forget the APJR because to quote him in a speech he delivered at Far Eastern University, these 4 letters, and I quote, constitute the initials of Artemio V. Panganiban Jr., close quotation. A model for all jurists, Chief Justice Davide has been a tower of unsullied integrity. During his many decades of government service as a jurist, legislator, constitution maker, and elections chair, he has remained clean and exemplary. Maraming salamat po to my former colleagues in the Narvasa Court, especially to Chief Justice Andres R. Narvasa. Unknown to him, he provided me with an early inspiration to study law. In the early 1950s, my family rented a small entressuelo at the corner of J. Berlin and Catalina Streets in Sampaloc, Manila, just a block away from the Narvasa home. As I hawked newspapers in the streets of Sampaloc, I would watch this tall, lanky, crew-cut sporting law scholar and athlete. He was a varsity basketball star, pass by, and I would wonder how he could excel in both the brains and the bronze departments. And when the bar exams results showed him at the top, he was number 2, I thought I should heed my own father's advice to take up law. How true indeed that the excellent work and example of a person can ignite ambition in another who may not even be known to him at the time. Maraming salamat po to the rest of the retired justices. They have continuously raised the standards of decision-making and ethical conduct in our court. I only hope that tomorrow I would be accepted as a worthy member of the Association of Retired Supreme Court Justices, the most exclusive club in the judicial branch of our government, chaired by Justice Ave F. Sarmiento.